Oh, we'll be silly.
No.
I'm happy to be silly.
Yeah.
Dean, I don't give a flying flip if it's Dylan Moore. You sit your ass at the Shabbos table till 10 o'clock and then you can go do your thing.
Ben Key. You can choose anything.
Yeah.
I know.
No, we need
Actually-
a forward. We need a forward.
I might wait, hold on, I'm not talking. Ben Keys.
Yeah.
What? Why?
I've actually heard the only thing less likely than a North Melbourne win is Chase making a sale at work.
What's that? Backs?
Backs. Yeah.
Mids, forwards.
Harry? Ooh, Adams, 89.
Welcome back to Dust and Toss, Season 5, Episode 6. Back with the Super Trio. Dean has recovered from his mystery illness. Dean, you feeling better this week?
Yeah, much better. Strong start by you there, Chase. No umming and ahhing as to what episode we're on, and it was an interesting one last week. So I reckon I had a variation of a virus, probably being COVID, and hit me for a week. I still probably sound a bit nasally, blocked up, monotone. When do I not? But I'll try be up and about. But it was weird listening. It was the start of it when one of you chimed in. Yeah, Shosty, you don't have big shoes to fill. I made a few notes.
What do you mean, one of you? Who do you think said that? Me
Probably
or
Chase.
What do you mean,
Probably
probably? Maybe you haven't fully recovered from the Wuhan flu if you think that was me.
Yeah. Nah, but I made some notes and sent it to you boys, but it was pretty good. Like, compared to like those that I listened to, like I didn't see it being that different, but
Who do you listen to?
like SEN, just a
That
few,
was good.
few
I
footy
thought
podcasts.
Shosty was good. I actually said that Shosty filled your role really well because he came prepared and he came with very good evidence and stats to back up his points.
Yes.
Which I really like.
He watches a lot of footy, which is something that is great because at times we miss a lot, and so does Dean. So it works well.
The disappointing thing was that last week I watched every single game of footy from start to finish except for the game which coincided with Hawthorn's game, and I couldn't talk about it or do anything with all that
talk
information.
about form and projections and things like that going forward. So
No, but it
I know
was
you
good. Yeah, Shosty was very knowledgeable, and I really liked that coaching point as well.
He's going to get a promotion soon.
Thought he was lacking a bit in the cup segment.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, but that's okay.
ropes
It's
to
hard. It's
ropes
not for
towards
everyone,
it.
the cups. It's
No,
tough under
yeah,
pressure.
yeah.
Dean, round 3, 2024 Alfarsi, if you will.
Sorry, what?
Round 3.
Nah, it's just because I watched every game. I think it was round 3 last year. So
Isn't that you every week when you don't have cricket?
I didn't watch the Giants West Coast game. Chose to go out for lunch with Pop. So yeah, we had some really good cricket chats, really good footy chats. It was nice.
You didn't miss much.
Chase, I got a question for you.
Ask away.
Are you ready?
Sure.
It's Rogue.
That's okay.
Bailey Rice or Riley Bice?
Well, I'm very glad you brought up Riley Bice because, when he was initially drafted at pick 44, the pick that North Melbourne gave up for Jacob Constanti and Luke Parker, I was like, Riley Bice, like, is that like a mistake? Like, has the commentators made an error there? The spoonerism is
Crazy.
scary, uncanny almost to Bailey Rice, who it's not quite the same,
The punter.
but has this guy come back? Has he flown back? But no, it is Riley Bice, and I was like, in the fantasy draft, it was the last round 36, bit of a free hit, and then somebody said this player could be the pick one in the mid-season draft that you're about to take.
Did I say that?
It may have been you, Dean. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm not just going to go for a free hit. I'm going to think hard about who this player is going to be. And I took a minute, took some time, and the name Riley Bice just stood out to me. I was like, hang on a second. Mature age, so he's probably going to play straight away, and he's from the Footy Factory in Werribee. We got Jack Henderson and Aiden Johnson, unlucky Don Brew, Shaw Manor last year. So I'm all on the Riley Bice train. 125 with the plus 20, 145, going straight into my team to replace the suspended Dan Houston.
So you have two mature ages in Davidson
yes.
and Bice.
Yep.
It's impressive.
Yeah, I picked Davidson early.
Davidson we knew because of his pre-season performance, but Bice didn't really have
Some
much.
knew him earlier, but you probably found
Yeah.
out after the preseason.
No, I had him written in my notes. Thank you.
Okay.
very much.
Before the preseason game.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
I
there
did
was
too, but yeah.
there
Wow.
was a interview on him about his medicine,
Yes,
studying medicine. So.
there was.
Thank
I
you,
did
Dean.
see
You're
something.
wrong twice this week.
I mentioned to Chase, speaking of Aiden Johnson, when I was watching the Melbourne game last week, I don't know if it was Friday night or the week before, they showed the players in the rooms post game and Aiden Johnson fumbled the Gatorade. And like, it was just this key forward they have.
Fair enough. Fair
And
enough.
it was just typical Melbourne because that whole game was made from little errors and fumbles, and he walks in and tries to grab the Gatorade and fumbles it as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Aiden Johnson.
I was going to
Shout
say
out
how
to
long we could keep Chase off Melbourne for this podcast.
No, look, I won't go to them now, and I won't.
He's
give too
a
much
changed
after.
man. I'm not sure what it is.
No,
Maybe it's a
coping,
bit early.
It's his coping mechanism to just act like, this
No, but there was a time where after the D's were really good and then they were on their decline, where like it consumed Chase and
Yeah.
he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't contribute in fantasy either. And I don't know. I'm sensing a bit of maturity from him.
Well, thank you. I think last year was tough, but I'm like, it's round 4. We've got a long season to go. I can't just be like doom and gloom for the whole season. So I've had to, I've done some reflection, and I think I have to mature a bit and just try and appreciate footy holistically rather than just looking at my football side, because it's pretty dark. And I tried to get around Carlton on the weekend, and it didn't
crazy.
change.
It's crazy. At least you made a good video out of it.
Yeah, I did. They got around
Well,
it.
now.
They got around it. The Instas.
The algorithm Alfasi.
The algorithm, yeah.
The only guy who feels sorry for the Blues, Alfasi.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't feel sorry for it.
Chase does.
I do because they weren't around for the 90s and their successful period. They don't really have that arrogance that I hear apparently Carlton supporters carry.
You know what they say?
What did they say?
Tell a Carlton fan to change a globe and they'll talk about how good it used to be.
Do they? Well, good one, Dean. I don't know where you got that one from, but yeah, look, I have a lot of sympathy for Carlton. We've both been on the same trajectory, and now we find ourselves in an eerily similar dark place, and it's just crazy. Like, we used to be really shit, both of us, and have really shit players. Now we're really shit and have these all Australians in our list, so it's really fucking weird and dark.
I was shocked actually listening last week when you said you haven't seen a finals win in Melbourne since 2018,
Yeah,
which that is shocking with your team.
yeah.
Like, obviously that's due to COVID, but that's 2 years for a potential dynasty of a team to only have witnessed the 2018 fairy tale wins at the G. Like, that really shocked me. I genuinely felt sorry for you.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to move on. Yeah, like it didn't happen. We can't go back, and we're in a new era now.
For any fan reading our introduction notes,
Sure.
I think they would pass out trying to understand what's going on here. For Dean and I, we kind of get it, but for someone else, they wouldn't even be able to read the sentence. But Chase has written Chase Shag
I
Levy.
didn't write it. I didn't
Maybe
write it.
was it
I
Dean?
wrote that one.
Chase Shag Levy, the Carlton fan.
Yes, because our good mate Shag, the Hawthorn fan,
Been
who
getting airtime.
has been getting
3
airtime.
weeks in a row. He probably doesn't even know as well.
Shout out to him, birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
But he usually attends Carlton games. Whether
Yeah.
that's a coincidence,
No,
his
but I think
family,
he
he likes it, I don't
His
know.
mum's a Carlton supporter, and I assume his mum's side, but I think he just goes to shit on them.
Was he there?
I don't know if he was. I don't think he was there, but he often goes to Carlton
I
games.
had no idea.
Yeah, no, and he goes in a box as well
Really?
sometimes. He has.
Yeah. Again, another point on our introduction. I didn't add this, but Brody tossing between fantasy and work. Late win last night against Adam. Talk us through the battle.
It was strange. So it started Saturday where I saw.
Go back Friday. Go
What
back to the
happened
shit.
Friday?
No, just the shit that Adam was giving you about your
Ah,
nominations.
yes. Start Friday. So at the moment, we've been doing nominations each week for the buy rounds. It's very frustrating. Obviously, I don't like it because you can't you can't play your players based on form. It's based on the past stats from round 1. So I was given my Hawthorn Essendon players, I didn't really know how they were going to perform round 1 of the season. They all did horrendous. Josh Battle, Connor McDonald, Isaac Kako did all right.
And Hobbs.
Ben Hobbs, who I didn't even nominate, but Dean made this rule after round 1, which made no sense. Anyway, there was someone else. I think Dylan Moore was underwhelming. Adam puts it in the WhatsApp chat, our fantasy chat, that I am the buy this week. I'm the buy round. Adam has the buy round, and Kai thought it'd be funny to repeat the same thing that Adam just said and asked who has the buy this week. So great on Kai to get in on the action. Thought it was very funny at my own expense. Dean also got in on it a bit, mostly them three. Dean, I believe, said diabolical to the 5 players, which is fair. He wasn't criticising my entire team the rest of the week. Anyway, Friday night, have a couple of players that both get 100. Matches Adams 90 and 80, similar to that, whatever it was. Moved to Saturday, 2 laid outs in my midfield. I'm forced to put in Closey because I don't have another midfield. He got subbed out. I had Degoe also subbed on Thursday night. Adam has 2 subs as well. The rest of my players get, I think, like 7 out of 9 got 100 plus. With Guthrie getting 149. Stewart. Tom Stewart also having a really good game. Moving to Sunday night, Adam has Joe Berry in his team. And on his bench, he had, I forgot who it was.
Harms.
No, it wasn't Harms. It was
Manor.
Manor, they got 90 or 80 plus. So Berry was put as sub. He only got put on just after half time and reached the threshold of over 35% in the last few minutes of the game, making him eligible. He ended up getting Adam around 45 to 50. It was a 3v1 in the end, Tim English versus his 3 players. We were drawing with 3 minutes to go. I thought this is GG's, except every single hit out went out of bounds from Tim English, meaning he was just getting hit outs after hit outs after hit outs. What?
I said that's my boy.
Yep. And then Jordan Clark got tackled, -4, minute left. I win. Wow. So, yeah, it was nice to give it to Dean. Not so much Dean, but Kai and Adam, who were really trying to expose me. So that was a nice win. But
Great analysis. How did you find being at work and following the matchup?
It was too stressful because I was going.
Just go to the bathroom.
No, I did once. Can't say a couple of times. I was just in the back room, refreshing. Then I said to Aiden, co-worker, so I got to take my 10-minute break now. That was with 8 minutes left in the game. So I was sitting there back, just watching my phone and refreshing on the app, messaging Adam as well. It was so stressful, but great feeling. Great feeling. That's what fantasy is all about. I feel like I'm more involved now that I've got to win.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm glad the buy rounds are done. I think everyone would be. It's just, it's not fun.
Not far away from the next set, though. It's only round 11 when it starts again for 5 weeks.
It's hard not playing players off form.
Yeah, and it doesn't show.
But you'd rather play, you'd rather have options to play than they're not.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's talk some round 4. Round 4?
Yes.
What about?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Do we call him or do I just...
You can explain it. April Fool's was last week. I put out a statement saying that I was leaving. Dean inspired me to do it. I wasn't going to do it initially, but a lot of people believed it. I
had to check in on Mora and Ned.
My dad believed it. Yeah, run here.
My mum wasn't happy with me. I got home and my mum was like, Chase, this is so silly. First of all, she believed it and I was like, it's April Fool. And I was like, Chase, this is so silly. This is such a bad look for you.
Why?
I don't know. I was just telling you, it's a good joke, It's good interaction. People liked it. Some people believe it and then,
Do you just think people just don't read?
Yeah.
It would have taken 30 seconds
Think about the attention span on people when they're scrolling through social media.
Yeah. You see that, you read the first couple
you have 5
lines.
to 10 seconds to...
True.
But
you would have had to read enough to actually see that I was leaving. There was only another 2 sentences in between the April Fools. So, yeah, look, I apologize for anyone who believed it and who may have been disappointed temporarily.
Well, I heard some people were rejoicing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
chook.
No, Matt, no.
Yeah, well, I know that. They know what I think of that. So, yeah, Shosti?
Shosti, I wish he was here to tell this story. He's always got something good up his sleeve, this man. I was doing gym with him the other day and He's quite a jokester, if you haven't already realised
Yes.
on the podcast. He loves outing us. He's very cheeky about it. Seamlessly fits it through the conversation. Anyway, during gym, he's telling me that one of his good mates, who is a diehard Carlton supporter, mind you, is also his age, is 21, 22. Shossi thought it'd be a good idea to tell him that Carlton are doing a makeup training at Icon Park on, was it Wednesday?
Sure.
April Fools? April Fools?
When no, I was at
Tuesday?
work Thursday or Tuesday.
Tuesday. I believe it was Tuesday. Shossi tells him they're training at 9:45 Icon Park makeup session. This friend thought it'd be a good idea to go down to Icon Park to see them train. I don't know why, especially at the age of 22. So Shossi calls him like, yeah, Shossi goes, I'll be there soon. You go now. I'll meet you there. We'll go watch him train. The guy gets down there, sees no lights on. Shossi calls him. He calls Shossi, and he's like, "What's going on? I don't see them. What has happened?" And then Shossi, he's like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, I'm not too sure. Like, they put it out there and everything." And then he had to control his laughing, and I think the friend heard, and the friend goes, "Oh shit," and then hangs up. Shossi like starts bawling his eyes out, calls him back a few times, not a few times, 10 times he quoted, and the friend didn't answer and was pissed off for the rest of the week, I believe. But commitment to go to Icon Park at 9:45. This guy probably lives 20 minutes away from Icon as well. I don't know how you believe that.
Yeah, but even if they were training,
Why
like,
do you want to? It's so random.
Yeah,
On a
and
Friday morning.
surely you ask for some confirmation, like,
Yeah.
oh, can you send me the
And
link?
why was
the
he so
post?
willing to go to a
This
training
guy,
on a Tuesday?
Yeah, this guy has shag tendencies, so it makes sense. But Shossi obviously knows his target audience. He knows who to pick. He knows he's going to be gullible. So very well played. I'll give it to him.
Like, yeah, you could tell me Hawthorn are training Tuesday night.
and you wouldn't
I'd be
care.
like, okay.
Exactly.
I just looking up the April Fool's origins because it is a pretty interesting concept. I think it's something to do with the Middle Ages, but not really a direct answer. I think they sometimes celebrate a New Year's Day on
It's always
April
related
1st.
to like the Black Death or some shit like that.
Yeah, we can settle on Black Death. But yeah, let's talk a bit of round 4. On last Monday, Shosty came in here and we collectively agreed that the Gold Coast Adelaide game was going to be the game of the round.
How about it?
Who would have thought coming into the year that would be game of the round 4? You have Carlton, Collingwood, Melbourne, Geelong, but no, it was at not People's First Stadium. Is it still People's First?
Yeah.
People's First Stadium.
1:20 p.m.
1:20 Saturday Arvo, and it lived up to it.
It definitely did.
Bit of controversy at the end, which we can talk about, but I just want to celebrate like both teams' form and their forward lines. They're so dangerous. Like Fogarty Tex Phil Thorpe, who was probably Bog, and up against King, Reed, and Jed Walter. Like, that is just incredible. And
How about Mac Andrew going at it with Phil Thorpe at the end?
it was good theatre, but I just thought like post-game, like don't do that post-game. And also, like if Phil Thorpe took that mark at the end, I would have loved to
that would've
see
been so
Andrew's
good.
reaction.
Wait, I love that though from Andrew. Like from the Suns' perspective, like we don't want to make friends here. Like we're serious. We mean business. Like this is what we've been asking for, and this is what they're showing.
Yeah, 100%. I think they have all the pieces of the puzzle now.
Confirming it was a mark,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I think it was a free kick. Like, you can't tackle someone in a marking contest.
I
Tapped it
thought
out
it
of
was
his
a
hand,
mark.
Yeah, I agree.
Really? But he didn't hold the mark.
It
He never
didn't
controlled
matter.
the mark.
Yeah, he should have. Bit of order.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. He should have had the shot. And now Adelaide have had 4 controversies or umpire mistakes in 37 games,
Crazy.
which is crazy. Obviously, the Ben Keys non-goal, Jordan Dawson high tackle against Collingwood, Isaac Rankin non-paid mark, and I'm missing the
The
4th.
Draper dive on the ball.
Draper, yeah,
Wow.
trying to root the footy.
It's-
Would
it's
hate
a-
to be a Crom fan.
But no, because it's just one mistake at the end of the game. Like there are plenty of
It's costing you a game. It's happened 4 times to them.
It's still different. Like if that Rankin incident happens in the first quarter, like no one says a word.
Yeah, but it's happening in the dying minutes. So that's when
And
you
I
shouldn't
saw
be
Mark
making
Keane threw the ball in the goal square at some stage
Very-
during the game, which would have cost
very
the game.
him.
Very, very Irish.
Yeah.
It's a foreign type thing. Mason
Irish
Cox did
tendency.
it back in the day against
Yeah.
Geelong.
But yeah, how good that this game actually lived up to it. Because I feel like, yeah, we've had 4 games of footy, 4 rounds, my apologies. But the games haven't been that good, like the blockbuster ones. Like the Friday nights, Thursday nights have been pretty average, and like this game was penciled in as this is the game of the round, and it lived up to it, which was great.
Gold Coast is sitting third on the ladder with North Melbourne next week and the Richmond the week after.
Oh, damn. They'll be
5-1.
ensconced in the top 4 by then. Yeah, 100%. Like they've won away as well, and this was the game where you're like, all right, you've played 3 pretty average teams.
Yeah.
Can you match it?
This is the run they need for their first finals appearance. If they can start 5-1, I reckon that will do it.
Yeah. Touch on Thursday night a bit on Carlton, but let's go to Collingwood, Brody. They were pretty impressive, and I think they've quelled some of the criticism about their age. I think it was the oldest team
It was.
ever put on the park, but systematically just destroyed Carlton.
It was. I wouldn't say it was a great game, to be honest. It was another scrap out type game. It wasn't very clean. It was raining. Took us a while to get going towards that end of the third side of the four. End of the third, that's when we started to kick away and take the lead by 30. Not much more to add other than I'm having a blank. Other than Lockie Schultz has been in great form.
Shooter.
I think now that he's part of more of a winning side compared to last year, it's been a bit easier for him. Better inside 50s, more inside 50s, and greater opportunities. Pressure's been a lead as well. So it's good to see him in some fine form because he did struggle last year. Happy for him. And what else? Pendlebury and side bottom, both still in incredible form, as you said before. And age doesn't really matter. It's just a number at the end of the day, and they're defying a lot of odds, many odds, maybe all odds.
Yeah. Houston's a bit of a dog. You should be able to cover for him.
What?
You should be able to cover for him.
Well, you don't think he'll get weeks?
He did get weeks. He got 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you mean?
should have got more.
Oh, isn't cover play? What do you mean?
Like you'll be able to replace him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think he's been unbelievable. He had that first game was pretty good, but
Yeah, no, he's kicked.
definitely Porter missing him. You can see that. Like Farrell's not as good as I thought he was. Bergman's not a great kick. Logan Evans, Dean isn't. Like, they really miss Houston. And yeah, they've lost now to St Kilda and Essendon 2 weeks in a row.
Back to Carlton.
Sure.
They're versing West Coast this week.
Yeah, I put up a poll actually. I haven't even looked at the results, so this is going to be first time looking at. I asked who is going to win a game first out of Melbourne, Carlton, and West Coast. Carlton 64%, Melbourne 0%, and West Coast 36%. Yeah, they would not want to lose to West Coast. That would probably be the end of us. I'd say so. I heard who told me that apparently like Carlton, when they were like really shit back in the day, like fans would camp outside Icon Park. Like, can you imagine what would happen if they lose to West Coast this week? It'd be crazy. It'd be chaos.
Camping. Probably Shossies from.
Yeah, probably this bloke.
I don't know what they're doing, but like that's just Carlton. And
Gee, the way they ring up SEN on
Snapper.
Friday mornings
Yeah,
after
they're
that,
saying.
it's very good radio. They
Give
are.
us some examples.
Oh, I don't remember word for word, but they are heated.
yeah, I've actually been listening to Blue and Broad's fan cams after the game. It's good
Terry's
stuff.
not happy. He's done.
No.
I'm wondering if you're a Carlton player and you follow Terry Blue Abroad and you're seeing it would be tough. It'd be
Yeah,
tough
but
to see.
expected.
Yeah, but usually like the fan Instagram accounts don't give it as much as Terry does. He keeps it real, which is great.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. I think as a fan channel, you're resonating more with the fans rather than the players.
Yeah,
Like, you're there to be a voice of the fans, not really there to
the team.
make friends with Carlton. Bit of a contrast to Melbourne. You know, when we lose, we just go to the snow.
You talk about
Always
love
win.
and Valentine's Day.
Nah, Melbourne is shambles. I don't know.
They're always talking about loving each other.
It's actually...
What does that even mean?
I don't really know. Doesn't look like Petrarca's loving anyone at the moment. But so Carlton second halves, they've been up in first halves each of the 3 weeks. Now, don't have the stat on me, I apologise, but Josh Kay after the game said teams that were winning at halftime and lost 3 weeks in a row was like 19-20, And I believe it was the first time a team had been winning at halftime 4 weeks in a row and have lost the game from Carlton.
Wow.
So creating new records there. And on Melbourne, 4 goals to 21 in the last quarters. So bit of a damning trend on both those teams in second halves.
Gee, you'd love a Carlton Melbourne this week.
I was talking to some Carlton Melbourne people on Saturday night.
One of them wins.
I would just be so
Who?
fascinated to see that game.
Be the worst game of football.
It'd be like
with
40
the best
to
players.
41 and Carlton would win because they always manage to beat us somehow. It'd be so bad.
Like imagine like the stars on that field for
Yeah.
the worst
It'd be
possible
such
output.
a ropes watch.
It would be
so
bad.
ropes.
It'd be so bad. I was watching the Brisbane-Richmond game and like I said, like Gold Coast, and I was watching 2 players in particular, Jed Walter and Logan Morris, and they take a contested mark inside 50, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm in awe. And then they go back from 40 meters out on an angle, and they'd slot it post high. I'm like, wow.
Is Bailey Fritsch 1 goal 9 this
That's
year?
crazy. Bailey Fritsch had 11 shots, 1 goal 7.
It's good.
1 goal from 11 shots. He is such a fraud of a
Will he get
kick.
dropped?
He looks like such a good kick, but he can't. He would get dropped, but we don't have anyone to bring in. So yeah, same as Van Rooyen, you can't take a mark. But I'm happy to sort of pause on Melbourne. But as I look at the run sheet, I see Jesse Hogan kicking 9 goals. So it just adds salt into the wound. Fact, Melbourne had the opportunity to get Jesse Hogan back when he went to GWS, and we pulled out. So
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been the same player on the Dukes.
Wouldn't have been.
No way.
wouldn't have been, but it would have been something. Would have been better than what we have at the moment. 9 goals from 12 disposals at a stage. I think it was 9 from 9. Yes, Dean?
9 from 10.
Yeah, interesting you say that. So I was with our stats man on Friday night, Doss, and we were having a look at players to like kick the same amount of goals as touches.
Mm-hmm.
I forget why. Who did it on Friday night? Someone on like 5 from 5 or
night was Melbourne Geelong. No one kicked that many goals.
okay, so maybe it just came up in conversation because I don't know why.
Amadi did it once last year.
Yes.
Kicked
Yeah,
like
8.
9 from 9 or something.
and yeah, so that was our conversation on Friday night, and then it obviously manifested to Jesse Hogan on the weekend, and it was just very interesting.
How is the stat man?
He's good. I was a bit disappointed with how you guys conveyed the stat last week, and
Again,
Sorry.
you're saying you guys as if it's
it's
me.
Chase, yes. Okay, so we did a lot of digging into this stat, and Willie Green, who was the highlight of the stat, having 7 marks and 2 touches, we were like, that's unfathomable.
Isn't it Willie Dick?
Willie Dick, yeah.
How do you
Sorry.
forget a name like that? I was about to say it.
Willie Green's a Sydney player, hasn't played before.
Yeah.
Willie Dick, in fact, was a stat error.
Oh.
So Ming, who some of you might know,
Friend of the podcast.
friend of the podcast, would be a good guest, potentially. Went back, had a look at the footage from 1992 up until 1 a.m. on Thursday night.
You serious?
Yeah, full seriousness. And he found that it was a stat error, and
That's crazy.
Willie Dick had 2 handballs, both which weren't from a mark, so it's impossible that he would have had that many touches.
Willie Dick.
How are we ever going to get Doss, the stat man, on the podcast? He's the equivalent to the Stig for Top Gear, if you know what that is.
Nope.
Nah.
The Stig is the driver that
We're gonna
drives all the
talk about
cars
Stig.
each week, and he wears a helmet, and no one knows who he is. He's anonymous. So, Doss, the stat man, you are the Stig.
Yeah. He said when St Kilda win a premiership.
What?
So
He'll come
you
on.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
So we're not getting him on.
Speaking of Saners,
Yeah, speaking of Saners, like I kind of want to put the question to you guys because Bill Buckley was saying, you know, St Kilda fans don't get excited like you've won your 2 games, and they go and beat Port in Port, which they haven't done for who knows how long. Is it time for the Saints fans to get up and about and start knocking on the door of the finals?
not yet, but I do believe that game was a test.
Yes.
That game was a test for whether they were up for it. Again, you said beating Port in Port. I don't rate Port evident as to how they started the season. I didn't rate them when we versed them round one. I thought they were so flat. Their field skills were atrocious, and I expected Saints. I tipped Saints to win. I don't want Saints to get too ahead of themselves. They generally start the season okay to pretty well in the past 4 to 5 years, I'd say. But it's looking optimistic.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I did some reflecting on like their team at the moment. And look, I don't know where they'll end up this year, but you look at their veterans. So Sinclair, Marshall, Steele, Wilkie. Like none of them are over the hill. Like Sinclair and Marshall are still at their best now. Steele's had, all Australian years, but he's still very good. And Wilkie's still one of the better one-on-one set players. And then you just have this massive crop of young players coming through. So
And McRae, of course.
yeah, and McRae, who's been a great pickup. So as a Saints fan, don't get too excited in terms of expectations for the year, but you're going to get better. Like your team's just going to naturally evolve. That's the exciting part of it.
Wow, is that the first time we've agreed on a take?
Nah, I don't think so. I think we've
Okay.
been there before, I'm sure.
Wow.
Is Wangani Miller staying or is he gone?
I don't know, but I think that St Kilda have to keep Wangani Malira because he's been one of their very few first-round draft picks that are proven. Like even Filippo, we're not like he's injured at the moment. We're not sure. Like Wangani Malira is a hit. They definitely got that right. He's can definitely be their best player, so they have to try and keep him. They have. Like, I wouldn't be overspending to get a Bergman or even a De Koning if they can't keep Wangani Malira. If money is the factor rather than go home.
Yeah, I still think if they could have explored a trade for Marshall or King, the return you could get for these players who I don't think are that valuable as they seem could have been enormous. Like King's not even playing.
Yeah.
And you could have got so much for him.
100%. And look, obviously, like King was touted as their future replacement for Rewalt, but if you're not getting on the park, and there probably would have been an opportunity to get 2 first-round draft picks, maybe even a really high draft pick now. Let's say they shopped them to Melbourne last year. That means that you would have got pick 6, 7, and 8. You would have got Taru, Travalia, and probably Langford. That's a pretty good trio to rebuild your side. And like they've been okay now without him.
And as we mentioned last podcast, the Saints are spending the week in Adelaide, and there's one player who's not too fond of that. Jack Higgins made a some could say fair call when asked about what he gets up. What was it? What is he going to do in Adelaide for the week?
Nothing.
He goes, nothing. Don't really like Adelaide. Going to play COD all day. Now, Jacko, I reckon there's got to be a park equivalent to Caulfield Park. There's got to be a local cafe. There's got to be something. I've never been to Adelaide. Can't be that bad. Staying inside and playing COD all week. Each their own.
Yeah.
They do little pop-ups and stuff I hear for Gather Round. They make it exciting.
I definitely, the AFL did not want him to say that.
Yeah.
But if there's one man that's going to say something silly like that, it's that man. And it's funny.
Yeah.
He's been in ripper form just by the way. And
good.
He's
just flying under the
top 5
radar.
in Coleman?
Two off the leader, I believe.
Top 3.
Yeah, he must be.
Dino's a stunter.
Yeah. Dean, I'll throw to you. You want to make it a point about the coaches and the media, and I'm also aware you've got a uni class to get to soonish. So
Yes, true. So just been listening to the past few weeks and been really impressed by Buckley. I spoke about that. But then also last week with a lot more time on my hands, was listening and consuming more content and saw the likes of Simpson and Longmire give their opinions, and it's just, they're so sophisticated but also clear. Like they don't overcomplicate it for the viewers, but they bring you into what the players are thinking, what the coaches are thinking, and I think it's unreal. Like coaches in the media, like I'm all for it.
Can you give us an example? Well, what do you mean?
So Simpson on 360 will talk through a play and like shows the goal footage from the end of the goals and like talks about how Hawthorn are set up defensively, and it's just so clear. And Buckley, he's probably my favourite expert commentator. Like he's just so rational. Like these guys who are analysts, analysis.
Yep.
Like David King and Corns, they change their opinion every second week. Like they're so fickle.
Fickle.
Like
Yeah, no.
these coaches just have such a
They understand
Relaxed.
it's a long term
and I think it's really
long-term
refreshing to hear.
answer rather than these analysts who literally take it week by week and confuse the fans and everyone else in the media.
Yeah, it's just I want to see more of it. Like these are the guys you want in the media.
Yeah, I'm aware where Dean has a class to get to. I wanted to make a bit of a point on.
No,
on
go.
the media,
I have.
so-
I can do another
Okay.
10. I can do
Okay,
another-
so yeah, I was thinking like, do any of you guys like watch any of the Footy on 9 shows or the Channel 7 shows at the moment?
only the Sunday footy
boring.
show.
Yeah, I just find them like so negative. Like every headline, every video I'm seeing is just like always negativity. And I think, yes, it gets clicks and I understand that's what works. But after a period of time, like people kind of just get sick of it. And if your team's going well, you want your team to be celebrated. If your team's not going well, you kind of want to be like, all right, well, footy's in a really good spot. And I just feel like the headlines we're being fed just feel like, oh, well, footy's like shit. When it's not, in reality. Like, the game is still in a very good place. Yes, there's a few issues that need to be addressed, but, like, every headline I'm seeing from all those traditional footy shows...
You know where they get it from?
Where?
The NBA. The NBA analysts are the biggest hater of their own game. They actually ruin it.
Yeah.
They overanalyze. They talk about the negatives way too much. Every year with the All-Star game, they put way too much pressure on it. Playoffs, regular season games, and now it's come to the AFL.
Yeah, and I understand it. Like, there needs
It's also
to be,
for clicks as well.
Yeah, and then there needs to be criticism, 100%. But like Kane Corns going after Harry for not having enough forward half touches and going after his comments that like him backing up Jack Darling, like that's so unnecessary. Like, why are you going after him? Like, he's not the... He had 34 touches. It was one of North's best. There's probably other areas you can go to.
Yeah, Harry's not the issue.
I actually think Kane does make some good
He does.
comments then, but that was so unnecessary.
I haven't
Like,
seen him say... I don't know, maybe I'm just not searching the right places, but, like, when has he celebrated anything? Like, when has he ever, like, complimented a coach or a player?
I think he completely misread that Harry one. Like in the Herald Sun, they wrote, if Harry Sheasel didn't play, they would have lost by 20 goals.
Yeah.
They wrote that.
Yeah.
And
If
then
you
you
put him
have-
forward, it's not going to go forward. I don't think Kane was, understands that.
Yeah, but obviously, like, this isn't based off of Harry. This is a trending topic, which I see a lot. Like, I think it's the clickbait. They want you to click on it by posting this obscure headline, but yeah, it's
Since
not.
he got to
it's not
Channel
good.
7.
Yeah. Well, that's just my opinion. You should listen to more alternative media like Dust and Toss. Let's not be silly.
Who 2 out of the 3 try to be positive?
No, I try to be different. I may not be positive all the time, but I like to involve emotions rather than, like pure negativity. I don't know.
Speaking
Going
of-
around in circles, but
Speaking of trying to be positive, should we get to the next
this
segment?
is very untimely. This is very untimely.
This is what I'm saying.
Nah, but this is a good segment. Let's not be silly. My Let's Not Be Silly is Don Pike weighing up whether to request a priority pick for West Coast. And I'm sorry, you've had numerous opportunities to have top 3 selections. Now, I was an advocate for them to split their pick in 2022 when they got 8 and 12, which ended up being Ruben Jimby and Elijah Hewitt. They probably haven't been as good as they could have got Harry at pick 3. And then last year, they gave up pick 3 for Bo Allen, Matt Owies, and Liam Baker. And if you have the opportunity to have top-end picks, you can't then go say, oh, we want a priority pick because these players haven't proven themselves. I don't mind their strategy, but what I do mind is go for the best available talent. Don't be pigeonholed by picking Western Australians. Have a look at Fremantle, what they've done recently. Hayden Young, Sarong, and Murphy Reid, all Victorians. If you're not gonna, if they're gonna have the go-home factor in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, that's okay, because if they build up their value, you're gonna get a good stint out of them, and then you cash in anyway. Like Adelaide and Port as well. Like they're not worried about making sure they pick up South Australians. They'll pick the best available talent. They'll know that they can get the South Australians later, like they've got with Isaac Rankin, Jack Lukosius. Jordan Dawson went to Adelaide. They don't mind if the South Australians go elsewhere because they can always lure them back home later. Just get the best available talent, be the best team you can be, and then cash in if they want to go home.
Yeah, very well said.
Thank you, Dean. Brody.
Skip me.
Dean.
Do we have enough time?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
so-
That's
let's
all
go
good.
to
That's okay. We are a
Cup.
bit rushed. Before cups, it is gather round. So
Gather round. Woo.
very, very quick segment. So I'm going to name 2 players, and you have to tell me. I'll alternate between you two.
Alternate, I like it.
Which one of them is South Australian? So the first 2, Dean.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'll go Brody because this might be easier. Lockie Neal or Hugh McCluggage?
So what am I doing? Sorry.
Which one is South Australian? Lockie Neal or Hugh McCluggage?
Damn.
Got a pick.
I'm gonna go Lockie Neal.
Correct.
Bang.
Correct. 1-0. Dean. James Aish or Ollie Florent?
Oh, I knew the other one. I don't know this one. Florend.
Can I give mine?
Wrong.
Ah, come on, Dean.
Brody 1-0.
Did you know that one?
Yeah, I was Collingwood player. That's right.
Brody. Mitch Georgiades or Will Hayward?
Haywood.
Yes. Correct. Dean. To stay in it. Darcy Fogarty or Mark Blitzarves?
I wish I had Brody's because I've known both of them. I'm going to go Blitzarves.
No. Darcy Fogarty.
Oh,
That's another L
Bit of a
against
trick
me.
question there. I mean, Fogarty was born in Victoria, but he grew up at school South Australia, played South Australia underage. So
Dinos.
definitely will count that. And all right, double points.
Oh,
Just yell it out, and then yell out your name, and then you can say the answer if you have it. Cal Wilkie or David Swallow?
Dean.
Dean.
Wilkie.
Correct. The accountant.
Yes.
So Dean wins 3-2. Well played. Well played. Gather round. Unfortunately, Passover coincides, so we haven't
Yes.
been able to make the trip.
Passover Harry.
Passover
we
Sheasel.
should do a DOS and Toss trip one year.
Maybe, yeah.
Bring up the microphones, the cameras.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking
get
of
every round
things
of
we
football.
celebrate in football, I think most fans agree that Gather Round was a great initiative.
Yeah, everyone
And
No one
dislikes.
dislikes Gather Round.
Yeah. No.
All right, let's get the matches
Except for
up.
Jack Higgins.
Let's get the matches up. They're there for a while, so that's
Yeah.
probably why. Round 5, I'll kick us off. Firstly, Adelaide versus Geelong. This is a great game.
I got
Cups,
one.
first of all, is Dangerfield.
I got one for you.
Go.
James Podsiadly.
Very good. I'll go Josh Jenkins, and then I'm just going to go straight back to Dangerfield and go Dean Gore, the steak knives.
Good.
Tyson Stengel
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Forgot him.
And that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Tips is... I'm actually going to tip Adelaide. I'm not sold on Geelong.
I'll go Adelaide. Reckon they'll be hungry.
Crom. It's a huge game for them.
Huge.
Opening Gather Round.
They lost it last year. Anyway, Collingwood, Sydney.
Darren Jolly.
Darcy Cameron, Taylor Adams. Brody, any more? I'm thinking of... No, I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said Darcy Cameron?
Yeah, I said Darcy
And
Cameron,
you
Taylor
say...
Adams.
Who got done for Coke? Collingwood. Who did
Oh,
play?
yes, good. Murray. Nick Murray.
Nick, what?
Is it Nick? No, not Nick Murray. He's
Sam
Adelaide.
Murray.
Sam Murray. My
Yes,
apologies.
good.
Very good, Brody. Okay, tips in another very good game. Oh,
Collingwood.
Sydney.
yeah, I'll go Sydney.
Thanks.
No, it's okay. North Melbourne and Gold Coast.
Hugh Greenwood.
Good. Aaron Hall. Yep. No. I thought it was actually Port Adelaide. It was Young, but I don't know why I thought North Melbourne.
Yep.
Oh, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Yep.
Carlton versus West Coast
Chris
Eagles. Battle of
Judd.
0-4.
Judd, Josh Kennedy, Matt Owies.
Owies, yeah. That's probably it.
I love West Coast to win. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go West Coast. It's so ambitious.
Nah, Carlton will win. West Coast is so
I'll go
bad.
Carlton.
So bad, but so are Richmond.
Battle of the Lions and Dogs. Not sure where I was going there, but Western Waterloo versus Brisbane. Josh Dunkley, Stephen Martin,
Yes.
Josh Shackey,
Good.
and Marcus Adams. Brody.
Yes,
Your
Chris
man.
Adams. Yep, like him.
Should have got that one, Brody.
Should have.
Okay, getting some work emails on the go, but tips. Huge game again. Probably Brisbane.
Is it a huge game again?
Yeah.
It was a good. We didn't touch on Sam Darcy.
he's
but
been in the league.
He is something. He is the shit.
Melbourne v Essendon.
Battle of shit and shitter.
Hibbard.
Hibbard, Melksham, Mitch
Yeah,
Brown,
Melksham. Mitch Brown, my boy.
Sam Wiedemann,
Great.
Truffer.
Dean. No, I don't think there's any others.
Chase,
But
can you believe I had a one-on-one with him?
with Mitch Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you win it or lose?
No, I just hit the ground.
Okay, you halved it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I am going to tip
Melksham's
Essendon.
still running around, isn't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think he'll get dropped. I'll go Essendon.
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 Richmond Fremantle. I'm gonna give the opportunity to you. 'Cause I feel like
Bolton?
cool.
I always just think of David Mundy's 2 goal winners.
Yes.
Got
Got another player in mind. Broke his ankle. Stretched it off. Was in a lot of pain. You could hear his screams. Now player development manager at Melbourne. Initials RC.
Reece Conker.
Reece Conker.
Nice.
Tip wise, Freo.
Freo.
Yep. So
St Kilda GWS. Jack Steele.
yep.
Thinking Adam Tomlinson when they were in the race for him, but he never went there.
I feel like there's a lot, but
No, I don't think there is. I feel like there's none. Actually, on Jack Steele, I remember I read last year, he never wanted to go to St Kilda. He was pleading with Leon Cameron to stay at GWS, like crying in the exit meeting that he wanted to stay at the Giants, and then he kind of got forced to trade. They didn't give him a contract.
wow.
Speaking of hindsight, Giants.
Giants.
And game of the round, potentially. Not really game of the
why is
round in
that
terms
game
of
of the
quality, but I guess it was built up from last year. Dean, take it away.
Port v Hawthorn, Ryan Burden, Wingard, Impey, Brent Renoff, Burgoyne. Missing anyone?
No, I don't think so. We said Wingard?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Amon?
Yes, good.
Oh,
Amon.
I just thought you said it.
Okay, I'm on.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh,
Hinkley-
weird one.
Hinkley
720.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that one.
Right during the start of your dinner, Dean.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you gonna
True.
do? Pesach Altar. There are
Yeah,
rules
night
written on
two,
that
night-
one.
Oh, hang on. It'll be different times, though.
Oh, where are you?
Yeah, I'll be away, but I don't know if I'll be
the
able to
time
watch.
they save him.
Nah, if it's a different time, you'll be able to watch
Retreat. White Lotus
it. It'll be
Altar.
like during the day or in the morning.
The White
Yeah, I'll
Lotus
have to.
Retreat.
I think it might be during the day.
Yeah,
It
it'll
might
be like 11 o'clock, I reckon.
Yeah. Wait, can we, after the podcast, get up the Passover Harry stats? Just
We can.
Wait, I
We
know
can.
it.
Just
Wait, what do you... These disposals?
what's the actual stats since 2021?
Well, Aiden Katz DOS refused to include Sandy Dragon stats, even though I wanted them. But his AFL stats have been 30 touches.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Good.
Nice. Well, wishing him good luck again.
Yep.
And happy
Go
Pesach to everyone.
Yep. Make sure he gets his matzah in at half time.
Yes. He does have to.
See, if the
Brody.
Essendon player could eat, but at the end of Ramadan on the bench at the sub, Harry can eat his matzah
Imagine if
at
Harry
half.
just had a little
No, what
piece
Harry has
of
to
it.
do
Yeah,
is
like in his
post-game.
sock.
He has to get post game. Shout out to everyone.
Yeah. Could you imagine his sock keeps a little bit next to his mouth guard?
Yeah.
Little nibble.
Yeah. Nah, it'd be crazy. But he would
There's
never
no
do
way
that.
he's touching
Brody,
it.
your uncle, obviously a big fan of Pesach.
He is. He's
Changed his name.
Such a big fan that he actually changed his name to Pesach. Shout out to Paul if he'd be watching.
All right.
Getting too rogue, yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Dean. Have fun when you're away.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brody, you think's got another week left?
I have one more week with you, Chase.
Cool.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good. We'll kick on. Thank you for listening.
See ya.
Cheers.